Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys.
Upgrade your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race every Wednesday and Friday.
A lot of names, a lot of familiar faces, and another chance for $50 to sign up for PSR Gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why wouldn't you want to be on this list, huh? Frank, that's a great question. Does AI determine the winner? No, Frank. The fastest horse does. So shout out to everyone that's a member. We appreciate you guys. We let our horses run forever. 2.5 hours. Hey, we're racing. It's Odeo, here we go.
And they are off. Finger.
You know I'm not winning this. My horse ain't like this.
And here comes Big Show, who says 2 minutes is too long. Big Show wants this race to end right now. Going to be moving into the stretch soon. K-Wolf up front. Saturated making a move. And there's nasty motherfucking Nate. Director 97. And he should have been 40. He should have been 40. Director 97. $100. He wanting all the money.
Oh my God, Director!
And it's Director 97. Back.
Oh my God!
Fresh, take it home! Here's 6, 5, 4! Oh God! Saturated. Friedrich gonna come home with it. Is it Billy Friedrich's time? Is it his time? No, it's not. Cody Norton making this filling the fight with his well. Filling the fight. How dare you throw his down? Does Coin have enough space to get home? Or will Daby take care of business? Here comes the show. A third win for Director 97.
But Connor Mack takes out. He might be blowing his load a little bit too early. Does anybody contest? Here comes Iron Eagle out of nowhere. Iron Eagle.
It's a packed race. 5 seconds. Bristol from the back. Bristol. The family wants that.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, up the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of it's what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They getting slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a little record, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, July 25th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Monster days for a lot of our guys yesterday. Jose Bouquet on pregame action. He lost the live bet here on the show, but pregame action 6-1 yesterday. Full of dogs. Also picking up lots of meat cash and stake bets left, right, and center. Daby Cab sweeps the board 3-0. Wine Time Sports sweeps the board 4-0. If you go to the highlights under pubsportsradio.com, you get it all right there. Jose Bouquet in the green plus 5.13 units. I prefer the term black, but green here for us. Wine Time Sports up 4.85 units. Troy Torrance up 1.38 units. Morgan Spooner, Daby Cab, Clark Edge, Joseph Thompson, myself, all in the green. Excellent work from our squad yesterday. And a lot more work to do. Clayton Kershaw returns. I put on my 2010 World Series 2010 Lincecum jersey to fade him. To fade Kershaw. And the line around 7 o'clock last night started moving first 5 pretty drastically. Well, I thought 7 cents, an early 7-cent move. Maybe that's not so drastic, but early 7-cent move towards the Giants. And I got in, and I shouldn't have. I should have waited. I should have realized the public's going to hammer Kershaw and Coogee Cam rolling with me. And I'm not saying this with it. I'm a little nervous about it. I've doubled up on the Giants first 3 and first 5. And if I had waited, I would have got a better number. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous for that. I've made 5 bets here, and we have a very interesting CFL game that we'll be closing on. We're not going to open with CFL because our first MLB game is an hour and 1 minute away. And then an hour and 6 minutes away is Orioles Marlins. 2 hours, 6 minutes away is Tigers Guardians. So we're going to start with MLB. We're going to get right into the fire. Shout out to everybody joining us. Billy Friedrich in the house. Heartbreak on the pig milk play today. Also, the friends and family. I let our squad down, man. I let our squad down with the Yankees look. It was horrific. Gleber opens the game up with that shot, and I was like, ooh. And then everything seemed to go wrong after that. Billy Friedrich pig milk play of the day is in. Padres money line and Guardians money line together plus 150. Stacks play of the day is in. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases for our guy Justin McKelvey. Let's get this up here right now. I had Justin McKelvey nonplussed. And Jose picked up a couple stakes off him, picked up a couple stakes off of Dabra Cadabra as well. Swiggy bets in the house. It's Swiggy's work that makes this website so exciting to see every day with the highlights, the consensus cards, the leaderboards, all of that. It's extremely cool what he has done. So please check it out and support us at pubsportsradio.com. Coogee Cam fading Kershaw today. Giants first 5 plus 110 and team total over 3.5 minus 120. Well, that makes me very happy. Is it down to 110? Because I could have got plus 120 this morning after I got plus 115 last night. What upset me the most was the first 5 had moved to plus 115, and I got that at plus 105, and I was nonplussed about that. Okay, that's great news. Down to plus 110. I like that very, very much. The public's on Kershaw, so I like that very much. Oh, and the first 3's down to plus 100. Okay. Starting to build a little confidence. That line going against me was not what I wanted to see. My guy, NJ Striker in the house, ready to rock. Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper. Truth Teller, Top Set. Great to see Top Set. We got the Nuke Worker on Roughriders plus 4 minus 110 locked in. That's the consensus. Everybody backing the Roughriders. And a move towards the Alouettes with Cody Fajardo out. I can't wait to talk about the game. And I plan to go up against the consensus. I watched every second of that Rough Rider Bomber game. We'll talk all about it, but look, the Rough Riders cost me a lot of money this year. The consensus in articles everywhere, everybody is the Rough Riders and the under. The market's going against both of those spots. It's a fascinating game, and Shea Patterson, the Michigan alum, has proved me wrong. And I still want to challenge him. I want to challenge him so badly. In fact, I wish I was in Montreal tonight to watch that game. So I expect to be on the other side, Newt, and I want to hammer it. I want to just hammer it. I want to hammer the Alouettes. First quarter, first half, full game. I've not seen not one person on the Alouettes with Caleb Evans starting at quarterback. We'll talk all about the Louisiana Monroe product. And I still like the under. This move to the over of late is just surprising. And I haven't bet yet. And I've not been succeeding at an appropriate level in CFL. It's not been a very good month for me. And we're coming to the end of July. We know that football, American football right around the corner. So we got a lot to figure out. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet dog play of the day is Washington. That's music to my ears. Not that I'm going to necessarily move on Washington, but I've bet unders in this baseball game. And I love hearing this. Also, God, you got to think pretty early for these West Coast Padres. I'm on first 3 under and first 5 under in that one. Wine time in the house off just an exceptional day yesterday. For those of you that don't follow Wine Time, you absolutely should. He's a selfless capper who, I've told you guys know this. When I first went down to Costa Rica in 2017 to do this full time, I was just blown away that nobody around me, no one was talking about being a great gambler. They wanted to be great touts. They all wanted to sell their picks. What was the best way to sell their picks? And I couldn't. I was who? Don't you guys want to be the best gambler in the country? Aren't we supposed to earn our living gambling? And I just couldn't believe it. I was just alone watching all these guys talk about how their dream is to tout, and they look up to these touts. And so I was just from a different. I wasn't raised in this tout world. I was raised amongst gamblers who wanted to gamble. And so I didn't really have much respect for it, and nothing's changed. But those of you that make their living on it, go get that cash, by any means necessary. Trying to take care of your life, trying to take care of your family, go get that cash. I would never, But Wine Time here, completely selfless. All he does is put his action out every day. Right now, he's 223 and 211 on the MLB season, plus 11.2 units. That's not easy. That is not easy. Not easy. And he's done it, and he's asks for nothing in return. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle here in the chat. Please follow our guy. There we go. Viper MB says, "What up? Texas minus 1.5. Only play locked in. Cole got waxed. Cole got waxed. Look, yeah, we talk so often, and I put a tweet out about it like 6 weeks ago or so, but how every day is the most important day of the season, but especially when you're not seeing things clearly. Now, what I can be thankful for is everybody around me delivering. Everybody around me delivering. Our guy, Tori Coker, saying, "What up, guys? I'm stopping by at work. Want to thank you for checking in on me. I really appreciate it." Tori, when you're not around, it's hugely noticeable. It's hugely noticeable. For our cappers following along and part of our community, there was a very awful situation in Tori's family. 2 family members were killed. And I mean, just the worst case scenario that you could possibly imagine. And so Tori Coker's mom's in the hospital. He is in charge of everything. So Tori's working 15-hour days. He's that's why he's not being in the chat, because he's trying to raise money for the funeral. And so we miss him, and I know that he's going through just the toughest things that any person could ever go through. And I asked him, is there anything we can do? And he's never done a GoFundMe. He doesn't know anything about that stuff. And I think we should come together as a community to help raise money for the funerals that Tori's trying to do all on his own, asking for nothing. And so he's never done a GoFundMe. We're going to figure that out, because Tori's got to set up the GoFundMe. I can't do that on my end, really. I can, I guess, but we'd have to make sure that it goes to him, everything that comes in. It's kind of tricky, but Tori Coker is a big part of our community, and if just right now, if you could say something in the chat to lift his spirits, because he's just working nonstop. That's all he's doing is working 15-hour days, working 2 jobs, just trying to raise money for the funeral. So just let him know that we appreciate him and we miss him, and thinking about you and your family, Tori, and I know that you're strong, and you're going to carry your family through this, but it's not easy. And we're thinking of you, man, and sending you as much positive energy to carry through and to fight on and to carry everybody through the tragedy. So we miss you, Tori, and thinking about you. And a lot of us are thinking about you. Troy Torrance in the house with the Blue Jays money line. Nats first 5 under 4.5 and full game under 9. The reason why I went first 3 and first 5, and I'm interested in the Blue Jays with you, and I'm interested that Bassett, the Taj Bassett start was tricky, a tricky cap. And the reason why I went first 3 and first 5 is I can't trust the Padres bullpen, but maybe there won't be a need. And there is, Dylan Cease back-to-back scoreless starts. That third start doesn't always go that way. It makes me a little nervous. Gordon Nikofsky on Saskatchewan money line. Yes, a lot of articles out there on Saskatchewan money line as well. There's not one person, not one is back in the Alouettes. Not one. Coming off their first loss since September of last year. They'd won 13 straight games, coming off an embarrassing 20-point loss where they had allowed a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Goran. I saw a lot of people on Saskatchewan with you guys, and not one on the Owls. Ralph Nunziata in the house. Great to see you, Ralph. OG Lowbagger there. My dude, ready to get to work. Serious business on Calgary and Toronto money line. Yeah, Goran, I get it. I'm very interested in being on the other side of all those spots. Obviously, we'll talk about those games. And I don't think I can actually... I don't know if I can move on Ottawa at this point, but I certainly want the under in that game. D-Rock, there you go. Saskatchewan plus 4.5. So more Saskatchewan love. You're going to keep seeing that nonstop. And the Rays money line for D-Rock. Goran Nikofsky also on the Ticats money line. Again, we're only going to talk about the Thursday game once we get there. But again, we're going to open up with MLB before that. Ick Schnizzle in the house. He is on Corbin Burns over 18.5 outs. That's a really interesting way of handling it. Again, another market move towards the fish. But what you're saying is maybe the sticks are quiet for the O's, but I'm going to trust Corbin Burns, to get 19 outs. I like your thought process there. Gifted Cartel in the house. Johnny K cashing with the Marlins. Lee Davis in the house. Morgan Spooner play today. Baltimore Orioles team total over 6.5. Wow, at plus 195, and over 3.5 first 7 at minus 110 at regular vig there. Very, very, very interesting. Rodri Munoz. God, use the eye test on Rodri Munoz. You want to go and bat against him. But Swiggy has the $100 UFC contest live. Of course, we have our huge UFC show, which we're very excited about here. UFC 304. Check out the Locker Room podcast. Those boys are crushing. Check it out and support. There's Birdie in the house. Great to see you, Robert Franklin. DC Capper. Ron Crawford, who's listing plays on the site, had Minnesota plus 120. That would be our guy Swiggy. Yeah. I don't know why you are not up there. We will get that figured out, my friend. My dude says Logan Webb should pitch well today. He does great against the Dodgers, but does get roughed up in Dodger Stadium. Still have the Giants here. Yeah, I'm nervous about the spot. Logan Webb, got lit up in the All-Star game. Didn't have a great start in the thin air, Colorado. He's not been very good in the last month. It's kind of tricky. Gerardo Hernandez, Troy Torrance, ready to rock. Nate Dogg 420, ready to eat here. Shout out to our guy Nate Dogg 420 in the house. And Newgore says the consensus hasn't done well in the CFL this year. Well, but interestingly enough, Nuke either has the beating the market move. So it's two different things that hasn't gone well in that Roughriders Alouettes game. One, the line's moving towards the Alouettes. That hasn't been good for that team. And the consensus is on the Roughriders. That hasn't been good for the Roughriders. Yes, my dude. I'm fully aware that Cody Fajardo has a hamstring injury, was placed on the 6-week IL yesterday. I planned around that. Caleb Evans is I was talking about Louisiana Monroe Warhawk. That's not Cody Fajardo. Great to see all you guys. So Nats money line for Troy Torrance. Von Post says New York Mets was my only play yesterday. What a beautiful look you had there. And great to see all you guys. So Kenny Can, Truth Teller, ready to go. Brady says, I just follow Wine. Agreed. Wine is a pro. Nordy, ready to get to work. Great to see you. Gerald Jones, Nordy, all of you guys. Markel, it's great to see you guys. So, and then I'm now just going through all the love being sent to Tori Coker and to Tori's family. And this is what this show really is all about. This is when it comes down to it all. It's just that we're a community and we're doing this together. And when it comes down to it, with honesty, we don't ever use the word lock. The only lock we have is that we'll be honest with our records and we won't sell you anything. And we're a community. And I love seeing that, the love for Tori. And there we go. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day, Montreal -4. That almost brings a tear to my eye. Maybe it's emotional from talking about Tori, but nice to see that, Ron. That's very helpful. Deshaun G, Montreal first half. I like Seattle. I like seeing that. Gordon Ninkowski says San Francisco or Saskatchewan has better backups. Yeah, right. Saskatchewan won the Grey Cup last year, won 13 straight. Oh wait, no, that's Montreal that won the Grey Cup last year and won 13 straight games with the better backups. I do not agree with that at all, Gordon Ninkowski. Not at all. Kong's smash play of the day. Seager, 2 or more bases. I mean, I cannot wait to break down the CFL game. And I know we're all talking about, but it does not start in 45 minutes. We will not do that. Yes, Birdie, the Riders are 6-1 against the spread. They are also, or is that 5-1 against the spread? Sorry, what do I, yes, 5-1 against the spread. And that was their first game against the Bombers that went under. South in your mouth play of the day. Randall Sheffield been cashing with this. Tampa and the Jays and Nerfy. Let's make sure we got all of that here locked and loaded. There we go. I love it, Gordon, and it's fun. This is part of the fun, man. I love it. Joseph Thompson catching that over last night. No, Gordon, this is great. Thank you for being here and all. It's just I want. And Jerry Davis, let's go Saskatchewan in the under. Jerry Davis on the consensus, which is appropriate. That's why it's a consensus. All right. Nice call, Gorin, with Angels money line yesterday. Jerry Davis rolling yesterday. Michael Lester, AOD in the house. Jay Stone says Cease has been dealing. Yes, he has. And my dude says we're not just a community, we're family, my dude. I love that. And there's Slatsy on the under with the Rough Riders. It's got 49, which is where it is. Yes, and Dequoy is back for that Montreal defense. And I can't wait to talk it all out, man. I can't wait to talk it all out. So everything is copied and pasted here. Not under the games, but copied and pasted. But we are in business. And we have work to do. And we have money to make. So without further ado, fresh off a huge day, filling his freezer full of steak and cashing bets Please welcome from San Antonio, Texas, star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, Mr. Jose Bouquet. The program. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing good. Doing good, actually. Good day yesterday. It's just like you said, you gotta have to ride the roller coaster that is MLB. There's gonna be some great days. There's gonna be some bad days. You just have to go up and down with it.
Well, you've had 2 excellent days of your last 3, which is a nice situation to be on. I can't wait for my next great day because I've not been following great days up with I want to have a board sweepage day to come back and do it again, come back and fire away and not be hesitant. I feel like we all get a little hesitant after great days, and we don't need to. And it's something that I'm looking forward to the opportunity to hammer against. We got razor sharp picks in the house here. Truth Teller just bet over 8 in O's Marlins. Let's get right to work. Jose. We start in 42 minutes. And let's get us started with Mr. Ron Crawford. Mr. Ron Crawford getting us started here. The MLB spreadsheet play of the day dog, 27-18. In 45 bets, he's up 17.01 units. And he is on your Washington Nationals. Let's roll. Padres 54-50. Very in a really nice spot here for the wild card run. And here we have them going up against the perennial fade, Patrick Corbin. So let's break this one down here. Let's get the weather report up here to get us rolling. I haven't refreshed this in a while. I will do that. 6.2 miles per hour to right field, opening up at 84 Fahrenheit. Feels like 88. It's always blowing out. It's not a big deal between 5.4 and 6.2. It's just dropped a bit. Now it's 5 miles per hour with the refresh out to right center and gets up to 6.2 miles per hour. So let's go on to the line history. Sorry, I got so many things up here. I got to pull them out. I have too many pages open. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We'll start with the total full game. Again, I've moved on unders in this one, and we have a move to the over. It actually slipped up to 9. Wow. Got up to 9 at 10:38 this morning. This opened up at 8.5, juice to the over at -117, but it didn't continue to go in that direction. Got up to 9 and now back to over 8.5. So we've actually just had 1 cent of movement. That's it. 1 cent of movement on the over. On the money line, we have Washington Nationals at plus 135. Wow. They opened up at plus 156. Just a monster move, a 21-cent move down. Now, Jose, the lineups are out, and we know that Arise is out of the lineup. How much did that have to do with the market move? These are the lineups: Padres, Profar, Solano, Bogarts, Machado, Cronenworth, Kim, Merrill, Campusano, Johnson. It's a weak lineup for the Padres. For the Nats, Abrams, Thomas, Winker, Yepes, and he has a 15-game hitting streak. James Wood, Ruiz, Garcia, Vargas, and Jacob Young turning the lineup over. Let's get to the cash flow for this one. 87% of the tickets, 86% of the cash on the over, and no movement there. 79% of the tickets, 67% of cash on the San Diego Padres here. So, Dylan Cease. It's always been tricky for us, Jose, when a pitcher has back-to-back scoreless starts. To add to the trickiness around it, there was the All-Star break in between. So I think that makes it a little easier to count on Dylan Cease because it's not that same 2 straight scoreless starts feel to it with the break in between. It just doesn't have that feel to me. He was simply spectacular at Cleveland in his last start. 7 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 10 Ks, 1 walk. On the road, he's been a little worse. 5-3, 4.19 ERA, 203 opponents batting average, 78 Ks, 8 home runs allowed. Patrick Corbin, on the other side, has his customary 5 ERA, 5.35, 1.49 whip. His last start was a thing of beauty. It was against the Reds at home. The Padres hit lefties much harder than the Reds, 270, 775 OPS, but you have a rise out of the lineup in a makeshift Padres lineup. Nats versus righties, 251, 729 OPS, and the Nats have a clear bullpen advantage. The Padres bullpen has been the worst in Major League Baseball since June 15th, 5.31 ERA, 1.38 whip, while the Nats bullpen, 4.26 ERA, 1.32 whip. Take it away. Thank you, Wager Detective. Thank you. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquet, Padres Nationals.
Yeah, I'm going to stay off this game, and it seems like it's going to be like one of the few games I am staying off today. I wasn't, maybe it's because I was on the Nationals yesterday and they got their ass kicked, but I don't know. Dylan Cease is a formidable pitcher that I don't really want to go up against many times, and backing him here, I'd be going up against a team that I've made a lot of money on this year with the Nationals. So I'm staying off. Shout out to Troy with his sharp action and trends on the unders, I should say, and the Nationals, but I'm staying off this game.
Yeah, I'd just like to see the difference as to where I bet it and what it's at now. So I got the first 3 under, and we're going to be watching it live. We'll be able to live bet it here if we choose to. But I got the first 3 under 2.5 minus 120, first 5 under 4.5 minus 115. At the time, the first threes, I should open up a Caesars book because it's much better than with first threes and bet 365. But the first 5 was better and then it's moved against us. Now it's minus 105 to the under. Makes me very nervous. The first 3 has that moved as well. Yeah, that's even moved 5 cents to the over. So the line is moving against us. Joe T, best bet is in. Billy Friedrich saying that Nats starting lineup is hitless in their career versus Cease. Truth Teller saying this is a 4-3 game. One time really wanting the Nats here. And Billy Friedrich says Pens are about the same. Cease clear advantage from the starter's perspective. Can't get in front of Cease. Slotty says last 2 Corbin starts versus Padres. San Diego scored 13 and 7 runs, winning both games. That it really doesn't concern me in this one. And why don't you make a final touch on this game before we move on? And I'll tell you why that doesn't concern me. We have a clear market move towards Corbin, who's coming off a strong home start, who with an aging starting pitcher could have used the All-Star break with any kind of arm fatigue and needing the rest. And then adding to that, the sharp action and a meek lineup. This is not the Padres lineup that's hitting a 770 OPS versus lefties, not this lineup. So the past 2 situations don't concern me too much here. Jose, last comments on the game that pops off in 35 minutes. I'm on the first 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5. Take it away.
No, I'll be rooting for you. No, I have nothing. So we can end it with yours. We
move on to 12:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the Baltimore Orioles. And Troy Torrance says the market move to the over also favors the home dog if the line is moving their way. Interesting. And Lee Davis and Corbin get his 100th career win today. Let's move on to the next game. Baltimore Orioles 60-41, 30-19 on the road at Miami Marlins, 37-65, 22-33 at Home Loan Depot Park in Miami, Florida. We have Corbin Burns on the bump, 10-4, 2.38 ERA, 1.04 whip. Last start was nice. 9-1 win at the Rangers. They were rolling at that point. I've stayed away from this series, much to my chagrin. We've talked about not wanting to fade, Jose and I not wanting to fade the Orioles. Here, the market move has gone towards the Marlins in each game. It's been clear that the sharp action's on the Marlins, and they've just been delivering. It was funny when it was 3-0 last night. I'm following all the games, obviously, because our action's on, and I thought about moving on the Orioles live, and I didn't. Next thing I know, it's 3-3, and I'm beating.
Funny, I did the same thing. I thought I was like, should I move on the Orioles right now? And I was like, nah, we'll be okay.
3-3, I'm like, oh, what a huge mistake, leaving money on the table. And then 6-3 Marlins, it was good that we stayed off. So we have Justin McKelvey and others very bullish on the Orioles, but we saw some bullishness on the Orioles yesterday. Justin McKelvey, not only is he on the Orioles over 5.5 team total at plus 104, but the stacks play of the day is on Gunnar Henderson, backing our guy Gunnar over 1.5 bases at minus 103.
Stacks.
Lee Davis saying Marlins bullpen has held the Orioles scoreless. This Marlins bullpen now at 2.90 ERA, 1.08 WHIP since June 15th. And Corbin Burns being great home or road. He's been better at home than he's been on the road. On the road, 5-2, 2.79 ERA, 181 opponent's batting average. Rodri Munoz, 1-5, 5.14 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. 47 strikeouts over 56 innings. In his last start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 3 walks, and a 1-0 loss at home for the Mets. And that was his best start. I've had unders with the Marlins before on bullpen days when Hoeing has gone into Munoz. And Munoz, I'm never comfortable with him on the hill, but he looked much better in his last start. Orioles first righty since June 15th, still hitting 271, 809 OPS. Look at that. Lee Davis owes 3-16 record in Miami. Wow. And Billy Friedrich says, again, a huge advantage in starting pitchers. Marlins versus righties, just 240, 663. The biggest advantage here, other than the starting pitchers, would be the Marlins bullpen advantage over the Orioles, which is a surprise if that's what we're faced with these days. So
Lee Davis, how long ago or how long is that stretch of games as well? Curious to know.
We've had as big of a move against the favorite as we've seen. Probably the biggest, well, definitely the biggest we've seen this week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to bet it, or I have to bet it at least.
Orioles opening up minus 236. They're now minus 194. Just a monstrous move here. On the total, we're sitting with an 8. It's juiced to the under at minus 112. This did open up at 8. Got up to 8.5 at midnight. It was up at 8.5 until 9 this morning. Overall, we've had no movement, even though it's, when we're coming back to the beginning of it. So from a cash flow perspective here, Marlins have 21% of the tickets and 6% of the cash. And the line clearly moving towards them. 99% of tickets, 99% cash on the over. That surprises me a bit. Take it away, Jose. Floor is yours. Orioles, Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, this is Marlins. I think I have to just plunge my hands into the filth today. Take both shitty dogs. I think one or two of them will hit today. So, yeah, I'm going to be on the Marlins here. I mean, Bet Online opened up at minus 245, now down to minus 200, like you said. So, and all the money on the Orioles. Yeah, this is a Marlins spot for me. You could tell me that what's the difference between minus 240 and minus 195, minus 200? I'm like, sure, okay, sure, whatever. But it's still a huge movement down with all the money on the Orioles. I just think this is a Marlins spot here. And like I said, I think today is take a shot with both of these filthy dogs and see what happens here. So plus 180, plus 182 for me.
Plus 182. And it's a huge move. Implied probability that Wager Tech was talking about, minus 200, 66.67%, minus 240, 70.59%. It's big. It's a huge move. There's no doubt about it. Troy Torrance looking at the first 5 under. And so, with all this being said, I do not want to join the party this late. And there's obviously a recency bias involved in all of this. Honestly, I would be interested in the Baltimore Orioles here. I don't know if I want to do this, but this is a little much. Isn't this a little blatant, little flagrant here? I haven't done this year, but this would be the time that I would want to. Morgan Spooner says Munoz is off pitching the best baseballs of his life and running into an Orioles team on the verge of a sweep. The Miami move is all recency bias. Yeah, AOD looking at the Nerfy. Jermaine saying he's on this game now. It's hard. As bad as I want to take the O's, they've been bad. It makes me want to. Yeah, that's all time, right? Because these teams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so. I mean, it makes sense. For the early years, I'd love to know what the record in the last 3 years have been. By the way, Jimmy, just an observational, a knife stab here. Troy is not calling this bet silly, so I appreciate Troy not calling this bet silly. Maybe
You want him to call it silly
yeah,
because
maybe if he does, then it cashes. But just observations.
Yeah. Is this just gone too far?
You know, I love coming late to the parties, Jimmy. There's still some hookers and blow for me at the party.
It's he says now he's not calling it just silly. Maybe this is messing with you now. Look, I don't
Apparently it was so vulgar that StreamYard doesn't even want to show it.
StreamYard doesn't, but we've shown it here. Okay, okay, I guess I'm taking a little bit more time on this one, but I think this is just getting carried away now. Every single game, market moving towards the Marlins. Sharp action on the Marlins. This time we don't even have sharp action on the Marlins.
No, I kind of like it without the sharp action on the Marlins, to be honest. You know, obviously the bets won last few days, but we'll see. I'm excited for this game. Like I said, I feel like I have to plunge my hands into the garbage today. If I hit one of two of these big underdogs, I'll be okay.
Okay, so what did you get? Sorry, the Marlins at what number?
Plus 182.
Plus 182. Okay, let's roll on. Next up for us, 1:10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Detroit Tigers, 50 and 53, 26. Yes, Ramos. I was wondering if you guys could hear Carter crying. I never know if you guys can, but yeah, he's angry, very, very angry. He loves the word silly, and to hear coarse language used before it, he's just nonplussed. 50, 53, 26, 29 on the road. Cleveland Guardians 61 and 40, 33 and 14 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's get into the weather to get us started here in Cleveland, Ohio. We hear from Troy Torrance moving on the Guardians first 5, 76 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour right to left, and then it's in. So after an hour, it's fully in. Again, it gets stronger, 10.9 up to 12 miles per hour. And it's Tyler Holton again. Tyler Holton looked great.
Yeah, I had no pitcher up until like 20 minutes ago or something like that.
Does that mean Kenta Maeda is the primary? Damn it.
Yeah.
Because
by the way, we got hoed yesterday on this first 5. I was so pissed.
Well, in all honesty, I also bet the first 5 plus a half for a bit. Did Detroit? No, it's not part of my record or anything like that. It was just
it's in the bank account.
But it's in the. I made a very sizable. That was my biggest bet of the day yesterday. Was Tigers first 5. It pushed the first 5. Sorry, biggest on the Tigers in the first 5, whether it be first 5 or first 5 plus a half. So I got paid for the first 5 plus a half. It was very expensive. Though. It was very expensive. It was minus 135.
Okay. Hey, it cashed. That's why it was expensive, because it was gonna cash.
Yeah, I was. Well, no, but I was still angry. That plus 115, that was a big. It was still.
Oh yeah. No, that was.
Kenta Maeda has been horrific. I mean, it doesn't matter that Holton will probably go 3, right? They want Holton to go 3 innings, wouldn't you think?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 1 or 2 here.
He only went 1 2/3, I believe, last one, because I know I lost that Tigers first 5 because Faeda came in. Once a pitcher that I had high hopes for, very high draft pick, who's been horrific. Maeda's last appearance was July 20th, 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 K, no walks, 7-3 win at the Jays. On July 9th, that was his last start, and it was against these Guardians, and they destroyed him. 2 2/3. He got touched for 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 jacks. Going up against Gavin Williams, who's not looked good either. Gavin Williams has not looked good either. His last start, 3 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 7-0 loss at home versus Padres. Tigers 234, 716, OPS versus righties. Guardians 234. Oh, but we have a lefty now, so that's changed things. My dude says on Guardians all day here. Better lineup goes to Guardians today. Williams shut out the Tigers in Detroit. Guardians all day. And Kuji saying Faedo is horrific. Yeah, it sucks. He's done nothing but hurt me. I didn't even realize that he was going in that game either. I didn't. And then he allows 2 runs to screw me. And then Ramirez hits that homer in that. Not even, that wasn't even against Faedo, but that was in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, God. How many spots where I'm losing in that last half inning is just so bothersome. Tigers bullpen 4.41 ERA, 1.31 whip. Guardians 2.98, 1.21 whip. Let's go into the line history here for this one. We have the Guardians at minus 143. Just a giant move towards the Tigers from plus 163 to plus 134. You've been moving on these spots with, the clear sharp action towards the squad, and it's been working for you. This total opened up at 8 and moved to 7.5 at 10 in the morning. I wonder how much the weather is involved in that. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 98% of tickets, 98% of cash on the over. On the money line, 18% of tickets and 18% of tickets and 58% of cash on the Detroit Tigers. Take it away for us here, Jose. This is an interesting one. I do think that Gavin Williams is vulnerable. I'm a little surprised that Troy Torrance is on the Guardians' first 5. Floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm staying off this game. The late pitching swap kind of messed with the line. It says it's opening up at minus like 180, minus 170. But if you look on it and you look, it really opened up around like minus 150-ish, 57-ish for the Guardians here. It's really kind of dropped a little bit, but not enough for me to jump on board. Again, maybe it was just betting on the Tigers and getting that late push at the end, but I didn't move on this game either. I do expect Gavin Williams to pitch well here. But it's just one of those things where the Guardians pitch really well or play really well at home. They've got one of the best home records, like Truth Teller is saying. But the Tigers, I feel like, just more desperate for the game and all this stuff. So I've stayed off this game as well.
Truth Teller giving us spectacular numbers for the Guardians as a home favorite this year. I guess I'll stay off of this as well. God, I want to fall for this Orioles trap so badly.
I'm in it. Well, I'm on the Marlins.
You're on the sharp side, so you're not falling for anything. You got the dog, big dog. You're not falling. I mean, fall for the big favorite. Okay. I mean, this is just a monstrous move.
When does that game start? Does it start during the show? Maybe you could watch a little bit and see if 26 minutes. Live.
No, there's no. I don't think, because if you're, I could bet it live regardless of whatever I've sent in. That doesn't really.
Yeah, okay. I was hoping for your sake. I was hoping for like a Marlins early lead, and then you could take the Orioles with.
I don't think I would do that because wouldn't the idea that Corbin Burns has to deliver because the sticks have gone quiet in Baltimore?
Yeah. In your ideal world, it'd be a low scoring game, I assume.
Yeah, that is okay. I guess we move on here from this one. So I guess we move on here. Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Great to see you, Dutchy. Keep an eye on our college football breakdowns out every single day. A new team every day broken down by Dutch Boy Fresh, Fresh 24. That's on our home YouTube page. Check it out. And my dude says 5 hitters in Detroit's lineup today hitting under 210. It says one of them 0 for 6. Guardians all day. You look at Detroit's lineup today, it's trash. Yeah, that's as much as I would like to. I don't know what I would like to fade Gavin Williams though. But the bullishness on the Guardians, these guys have no fear with that market move. All right, let's roll on to our next spot on the board. Fresh off of board sweepage, came to us from a New Mexico coffee shop and swept the board. Now back home in Dallas, Texas. Please welcome the host of Medicate Mondays alongside Dutch Boy Fresh. Please welcome Daby Cab to the show. Daby Cab, how are you?
I saw that thing. Jose did that. You muted me on the bottom, didn't you? See, my mic wasn't muted, Jimmy. On the bottom on StreamYard where you can mute each other, Jose muted me. Fuck you, Jose. I know you did that.
No, I did not. Unfortunately, I did not. I have bigger things to worry about, but I'm glad that you're in a good mood today, Daby. He's disappointed because the Rockies just came in there and...
Oh, now he muted you.
Now he's being petty. Now he's trying to be petty. He's, 20-7. Denver Broncos win. Fuck.
Yeah, you had a nice day for stakes and cash yesterday, Jose. And our guy, Daby Cab, had a great day for cash. Let's talk about this one. 2:35 p.m. Eastern with the Chicago White Sox 27-77, 10-43 on the road. Texas Rangers 15-52, 28-23 at home. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Jonathan Cannon whom we've talked a lot about in this young season. 57 innings now under his belt. Coming off a nice start at the Royals for him, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 4 Ks, no walks. I mean, that's as much as you can ask from him. 4.58 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. Going up against Maximus Scherzer, 1-3, 3.99 ERA, 1.116. He's throwing 13 in the third innings at home. Not looked very good. 7 earned runs, just 8 strikeouts. His last start, 2 innings, 4 earned runs, and 8-4 loss at home versus the Orioles. Great bounce back opportunity for him if anybody wants him. White Sox versus righties, 213, 603 OPS. And Rangers versus righties, just 236, 68 OPS. Again, this is all since June 15th. White Sox bullpen, 4.86 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, while the Rangers bullpen, 3.75 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. Let's get into the line history, and then here our best bet from Daby Cab. This is an 8.5 at Pinnacle, and it is one of the few 8.5s. This 8.5 of the pick'em. This opened up at 8, and it dropped down to 7.5 at 8 in the morning. Now we're back up to 8.5. So we've moved to the over now. From a money line standpoint, Scherzer's at minus 245. He opened up now minus 243. He opened up minus 250, so a slight move towards the White Sox. And then let's get into the cash flow for this one. We have 9% of the tickets and 24% of the cash on the White Sox. Feels like sharp actions on them. If you want to fade Scherzer, I thought about doing it first 3, but do we trust Cannon? The Rangers are rolling right now. 98% of tickets, 90% cash on the over. Take it away, Daby Cab, best bet.
Yeah, I could see why you'd consider fading Scherzer right now. There was question if he was going to be fully healthy for this game still or not also, but just the White Sox, man, how do you get behind a team like the White Sox right now? They're just awful. I mean, this might be the worst year, like their worst record in franchise history ever for the White Sox, which is, they don't have a great track record. And now we're talking about this. It's just tough. And then you touched on Cannon a little bit. He's got a 4.58 ERA. White Sox have lost 4 of his last 5 starts. And he's what you call a contact pitcher, right? He's not going to get very many strikeouts. If you look in his last 57 innings pitched, he's only had 43 strikeouts. So that makes me want to say, who's a good contact hitter for this Rangers team, right? And without question, the best contact hitter from top to bottom, I'm going to give Jose a guess before I say it. Who do you think the best contact hitter is?
Your boy, Corey Seager.
No.
I don't know. Who is it? Hitter. Josh Smith, the guy that I've just a creative player, the Atlanta Hawk?
Close. One more.
I don't know. Fucking Wyatt Langford.
Wrong. Nate Lowe. Nathaniel Lowe. Okay, Nate Lowe is by far the best contact hitter on this team. And I think Nate Lowe is, a hitter that goes untalked about a lot. He's hitting, 266 on the season? Let me pull up his numbers. And he's about a 270 hitter in his career. Pretty much 260 across the board. And you saw yesterday, I know he had the bomb late in the game. Lowe hit that bomb late in the game, but early in the game, you saw that contact single up the middle. It's what he does. Now, when I look at these numbers on this games, and I want everybody to understand this, you said Wyatt Langford. He is minus 140 to get over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. You look at Corey Seager, you can't bet him there. You look at Adolis Garcia, who's hitting 209 on the season. No fucking reason for his numbers to be higher than Lowe. He's at minus 145 to get over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Go through the whole thing, and then you come up to Lowe, minus 105. The line doesn't make sense. It's disrespectful as fuck. And Lowe's been hot. He's covered this number on 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in 5 out of his last 8 games. He's about to make it 6 out of his last 9 right here. So Nathaniel Lowe, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's minus 105. And anybody who wants to get an even better line, parlay it with the Rangers to win and get you some plus money.
Great breakdown. Lowe, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 105 for Daby Cab. Jose Bouquet, floor is yours.
Plunge your hands into the filth. Take the White Sox. Take the other team I just took, those fucking Marlins. I think you'll go 1-2, hopefully 2-2. That would be great. But I'm going to take the White Sox full game. You just 9% of the bets, 24% of the money on them. And yet the line opened up at minus 150 at our friends at Bet Online. It's now down a little bit. Now up to minus 140. Was minus 235. But I've been fading Max Scherzer. I'm all about fading these old fucks. Verlander, Scherzer, and we'll talk about Kershaw later today. Fade these old men. So give me the White Sox full game.
And what was the line?
I am getting, I will tell you right now, I got plus 214.
plus 214. I mean, I know that we're focused on the full game, but isn't the idea to fade Scherzer instead of fading the Texas Rangers?
I think that one or the other, I think one leads to the other, I guess. Scherzer can give up runs and will have a lead early, and I don't believe in their bullpen either, obviously, the Rangers. White Sox bullpen's obviously a scary thing to deal with, too, and the Rangers got a good lineup, but...
If you think Scherzer is going to get hit at all, like even give up 2 or 3 runs, the first 5 over should look like gold to you. I'm just going to say that right now. Because
4.5 is scary. I'm also going to take 3.5, by the way. Team total over 3.5 for the White Sox at plus 120. That is wild.
All right. You are locked in. White Sox plus 214. White Sox team total over 3.5 at plus 120. Daby Cab on low over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 105. And Daby Cab, that's your lone spot on today's board?
For right now, Jimmy, I know I got home really late. I'm going to stay right here backstage and listen because like yesterday, I actually ended up adding a few. I just need more time to cap right now. So if I can pop back on, if I hear anything or see anything I want to bet, I will, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hit us in the private chat anytime. All right, there is Daby Cab, best bet. And Daby Cab's hit 5 of 6 on our show and 3 straight on his climb back to the black. Let's roll on, Jose. 3:07 p.m. Eastern. We have the Tampa Bay Rays 51-51, 24-24 on the road at Toronto Blue Jays 46-55, 23-27 at home. We're at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. Let's talk about the weather first. Beautiful day, not too hot. 75 Fahrenheit. I mean, I wish it was hotter. 75 Fahrenheit, 8 mile per hour wind in. It's down to 7.1 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. We cashed the Jays first 5 and full game, or I cashed first 5. Jose cashed full game yesterday. Here we have Chris Bassett on the hill. He opened up at Pinnacle at minus 101, now minus 102. This got up to minus 111 at 10:30 this morning. I was a little surprised that had happened, but it wasn't the first time. When this opened up at minus 101, around midnight, it got up to minus 108. So, it's always been kind of moving around in the Jays' direction, just not heavily, and now very little. From a total standpoint, the 7.5 is minus 110 to the under. This did get up to 8. And it didn't take very long, opening up at 5:08 p.m. at Pinnacle. At 7:54 p.m., this moved to 8. And it stayed there till midnight and then came back to 7.5. That 7.5 is being juiced at times up to minus 113. Right now we see it at minus 110. So it's 11 cents of movement to the under, 1 cent of movement towards these Blue Jays. From a cash flow standpoint, we have 98% of tickets, 98% cash on the over. On the money line, we have 41% of tickets and 91% of the cash on the Tampa Bay Rays. Interesting move, the 1 cent move to these Giants. And the question is, do you believe in Taj? I think it all comes down to that. Bassett is consistent. It's not great what you get from him. I often expect him to be better at home. I expected him to be better at home in that last start against the Tigers. I was disappointed in his performance. 6 2/3, 5 earned runs, and 2 jacks allowed. He hadn't allowed a home run since June. He hadn't allowed a home run all of July, and then he allows 2 jacks to the light hitting Tigers. And then his performance before the break was at the Giants, and that one that's serious. That is the game when everything started going wrong. I feel like for me in MLB. Is 2-0 going into the 5th inning, and I've got the unders, and I'm very comfortable with everything, and then everything blows up. Bassett did not look very good. He got touched in that 1st inning for 3 runs, and he stayed around and got through 5, got through complete. But he has not looked very good since June. None of his starts. He only had 3 starts in July, but none of them looked very good. And then is Taj as good as the numbers say he is? That's what we need to ask, and that's what Jose needs to answer here, because he's 2.63 ERA, 1.05 WHIP. He's rolling. He's rolling. In July, he's allowed 1 earned run in 20 innings. He has allowed 1 earned run over his last 4 starts. Allowed 2 earned runs over his last 5 starts. Hasn't allowed a home run his last 4 starts. This is at Texas, at Yankees. He looks like he's pitching like the best pitcher in baseball right now. Take it away for us, Jose Ray. Oh, did I do the cash? Yes, I did the cash flow. Sorry. Take it away for us, Rays, Jace.
Yeah, I'm staying off this game too because I'm all aboard the Taj Bradley train. Like I've been since he came up, I've believed in him and I thought he was going to be great. And I was hoping to back him here today, but this line flipped for me. -113 opener for Taj, now -110 for the Blue Jays. Most of the times I'd probably be on the Jays here, honestly. But like I said, I like Taj Bradley. I think he's a good pitcher. So I stayed off this game as well. Now Bassett, I think is a trade candidate. Jimmy, I don't know if you think that as well.
Oh yeah, we'd love to get something for him. Sure.
So I'm very interested to see how he does in this last start. I think he'll pitch well and be motivated because I think he knows as well. He's not an idiot. And I think he wants to go to a good team at the very least here. So I think this could be an under, honestly. This is what I thought. Both pitchers I have respect for and I like. I lean under. I looked at the market, 98% of the bets and money on the over, kind of classic. So I leaned under. This is not a bet I made, but it was like if we were giving out waffles, like I saw Daby Cab and Justin were talking in the chat, this would be my waffle, but no action for me in this game.
My dude says Bradley gets crushed by Springer. Vladdy hits him well. Troy Torn says in divisional games when home team is priced between -118 and -102, sharp action on the road team, market moving towards the home team, 5-15 straight up. When the home team is priced -118, -102, sharp action on the road team and market moving towards the home team. Wow. That is a wild stat. Kuji Cam Bradley bounce back. There's no bounce back, Kuji. He's been a monster. He's not been. Did those starts happen at all this year against the Jays? I know Springer rolling right now, but he's not faced the Jays this year, so I don't.
Vitalis, by the way, dropping a 2-8-2 record for Taj first 5. That's why I tried to I've been trying to stay full game with all of my bets. So that's just very interesting there.
Troy says if you remove the total from the profile, home team 39-17 straight up. Wow. Okay, I guess, man. And you have no interest in the total?
I leaned under, like I said, but I just couldn't get there. I've been just better recently on money line, so I've been kind of sticking that way. Honestly, it wasn't like I thought about it yesterday because I was looking at my card and just saw money line. And I was like, geez.
It's working.
Yeah, so I leaned under, but yeah, I didn't because I like both these pitchers too, but 7.5 is seeming to get a little low nowadays in the nice weather and all this shit. So,
damn. So my dude on the play day, Blue Jays team total over 3.5 and -113
makes sense to me.
God, I'd have real interest here. On the first 5 under, but I don't know if I can get there. First 5 under is a possibility here for me with Rays, Jays. My dude loving the Jays lineup, hitting well against Bradley. I mean, I don't mean to go against what my dude's saying, but I mean, isn't this a completely different pitcher right now than whom we saw last year?
I agree. Yeah, since he came up, and it was like he went down. I forget what exactly was the circumstances for him this year. I have to look at his game log because I'm pretty sure he came up and then got sent back down for whatever reason, or maybe he started the season late. Yeah, he started in the 5th, January, February, March, April, May. Started in May and then just pitched well from then on and just been solid. And he's going to be probably the ace of this staff going forward with him and what's his name, McClanahan. McClanahan's going to be gone after next year too. So
he's allowed 1 earned run or less in 7 of his last 8 starts. The only start he allowed more than 1 run, he allowed 2.
Yeah, he's in my rotation. I actually wrote him down, and I put Robbie Ray is also going to be in my rotation because he is going to be the same thing with Taj Bradley here. The same kind of scenario. There's guys starting late and all that stuff. But Robbie Ray, Taj Bradley, both guys that are my rotation. But admittedly, I am excited to talk about that our next game here because it's the main event for me, just as it is for you, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's the main event. Okay, I'm gonna move on this first 5 under here. I'm gonna move on this first 5 under here. All right, let's talk about the main event. Got my Lincecum 2010 World Series jersey on, and I've been falling for these line moves around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna crush this line move." And I did again. There was a 7-cent move towards Logan Webb in the first 5 at penny, and I wanted in. I got in at plus 115 on the first 5 for Logan Webb and plus 105 first 5. And then it went against me. This morning I was very angry to see plus 120 and plus 115. I was very angry. Since then, it's come all the way back. And these are all 365 lines. Now
and these are all first 5, right? You said?
These are all first 5, yeah. When it came all the way back, we see the plus 100 first 3 and plus 110 first 5. That was, Kuji and I were talking about it right off the hop here. We have a gambler's first glance, White Sox, Texas under 8 for razor sharp picks. We will discuss that and get Razor. It's Flowers, our guy, razor sharp picks. But let's get this in. Make sure I've got it copied and pasted here. So Razor Gambler's first glance is in. So this spot here, obviously Webb's not been good. But and look, there's been times when Kershaw at home is it's like sprinkled fairy dust in the regular season. Like he gets lit up on the road, but at home he just delivers and delivers and delivers. If you want to romanticize the start for Kershaw, it's easy to do that. But I couldn't stop thinking about this feeling that I have this huge advantage with Logan Webb in midseason form and Kershaw in his first start back. I couldn't get over that. I couldn't get past that. You also have a Giants team hitting 250 with a 748 OPS versus lefties. They haven't been. Can you give me the Giants numbers the last 14 days versus lefties, or maybe 21 days because of the All-Star break? If maybe add 7 days to it. But I was a little concerned that they weren't hitting the ball as well versus lefties of late. Do you have that up?
I have the month.
Okay.
So it's 25 days. So a little more, but it's not good. 27th, 82 weighted runs created plus in the month of July.
Sorry, say that again.
They are 27th, 82 weighted runs created plus this month.
Vital says, how is this the main event? Webb doesn't pitch well away from home. He only pitches in Oracle. I've thought that at times too. I expect him at Dodger Stadium to pitch better than Kershaw. And that's just what it came down to me. Just better than Kershaw. Both bullpens have been a mess. Giants 4.70 ERA, 1.45 whip. Dodgers 4.82 ERA, 1.40 whip. Webb's last start in Colorado, 4 earned runs over 6 innings. Not great, but fine. He got lit up in the All-Star game. He's had a lot of time off. We have Fitzgerald over 1.5 bases, plus 170 for Justin McKelvey. Jerry Davis says Webb 6-3 last 10 at the Dodgers. So, and I went over the batter versus pitcher. I felt comfortable with Webb. This lineup with Will Smith not hitting, Lux not hitting, no Mookie Betts is not nearly as intimidating as it was before. So, all right, here we go. Let's set up the weather. So I moved first 3 and first 5 on the San Francisco Giants. 86 Fahrenheit, 8.3 miles per hour out to right field, and it gets up to 10.1 miles per hour. So it's blowing out, and it's hot. It's not nighttime. It's hot in LA. A pitcher's ballpark, but hot. Let's get into the line history here. This total on the first 5 has moved 10 cents to the under at Pinnacle. Under 4.5 with opened up minus 109. Then it gets to minus 119 right now. On the full game here, we have it at minus 114 to the under. This actually hit 8. This got to 8 at 11:25 this morning. Came back at 11:57 to 8.5. So that's that. And then on the money line here, we have we're just about to start in Padres. Oh, we've started in Padres Nats. Okay, we started in Padres Nats. It's a big first inning for Corbin and for you Nats backers. He's got to get through this comfortably here. On the money line, Kershaw is now minus 119. Holy shit!
He gets his ass whooped tonight.
Wow, opening up at minus 142, now minus 119. I love seeing that. Wow, that's a huge move. On the first 5, let's go over to Bet Online. I can't get the Pinnacle line movement on the first 5. On the first 5, I got Bet Online. Wow, moving back towards the Dodgers.
That did worry me for your sake.
Wow. That is strange, unexpected, strange. My dude says, like I said, Webb pitches really great against the Dodgers, but Dodger Stadium he gets rocked. I do believe today he will pitch decent enough for them to get the win. Wine Time says Giants are going to bend Clayton over. Let's get to this cash flow. 95% of tickets, 94% cash on the over. And on the money line, 80% tickets, 85% cash on the Dodgers. Take it away, Jose Bouquet.
Yeah, I love the Giants here today. I'm on them. I got plus 109, which obviously is a shit number compared to what it was a few minutes ago, apparently, like I started the show. But plus 109 for me. The line movement just makes me feel better about it. Clayton Kershaw, welcome to the retirement home. I just, again, I'll keep fading these old guys. And, I should fade them more at the end of the season when they're more exhausted. But when you've got Justin Verlander, he'll pitch 3 games and then get hurt. So it's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do there? He pitched well too, but I just will continue to fade Kershaw. He had only 3 rehab starts. Robbie Ray, as we mentioned, Jimmy, yesterday, he had like 10, 30 innings.
But Kershaw, he just wants to be with the bullpen coach. He doesn't.
Yeah, and he wants to work it all out in the majors because he's got the cachet to do it. He's not fighting for his career again like Robbie Ray was. So he's going to go out there just fucking la-di-da, and the Giants are going to shove it up his ass. So Giants full game money line for me, plus 109. I considered adding first 5 as well, but I'm not going to lie. That first 5 line movement sketched me out. It sketched me out a little bit. So I just stuck with full game Giants. My best bet of the day.
And what is the number there?
Plus 109.
Plus 109. And my dude looking at that first 5 over 4.5 a plus money.
I considered overs. I mean, I considered it.
Right.
The issue, obviously, I think Logan Webb shoves here today. You've mentioned it. This lineup's not the same. I don't think that the Giants are going to get the total by themselves. Logan Webb, for those wondering, he has had 2 starts against the Giants or against the Dodgers this year. Obviously, they're both at home, so you'd expect him to pitch well. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 shutout innings. And he did have 1 on the road as well. He gave up 5 earned runs, but that's not the same lineup. It's not the same guys. There's half the lineup is missing. So, Giants.
Giants at plus 109. I was thinking about JPZ, when I was deciding whether to bet the Giants. Because, I am. They like Kershaw. Kershaw's an emotional guy. They're going to play their best for him. There's no doubt.
I think he goes 3 innings. I think he goes. I doubt. I highly doubt he goes more than 5 innings in this game. 3-4 innings at the most, and then we'll probably get Ryan Yarbrough after that. I'll look at the Dodgers bullpen right now, but I just don't think Kershaw goes that far either. And I really think he'll be 3 innings. He'll give up 2 earned runs, and that'll be okay. We'll take that. And then we get a Dodgers bullpen that it's pretty tired. Blake Trinan through Monday, Tuesday. He got a day off yesterday. Maybe he's available. Johan Ramirez threw 36 pitches yesterday. He's not going to be available. Vesia threw 26 and 10 on Monday and Tuesday. Off yesterday, but we'll see about him. Yarbrough threw 10 yesterday. Again, I kind of expect him to piggyback Kershaw. If not him, then probably Brent Honeywell, who threw 22 on Tuesday and got a day off yesterday. We'll see if he's available. Guys who I expect to pitch, Evan Phillips, Joe Kelly, threw 16 yesterday, so maybe I think he'll be available, but we'll see. Daniel Hudson, but it's not the A+ guys for the Dodgers here. So JP's, I saw that stake bet comment. I'll make that stake bet whenever you want it. Whenever you want it, you come to Pubapalooza. That stake bet and that stake could be yours.
We need the stake bet list.
I have some of them.
Okay, good.
I have some of them. Yes,
that was your biggest stake night of your career.
It was. I just remembered I owe Damon. Oh no, I do have Damon on the list already. But yes, by the way, what's funny is that I obviously had two stake swing for me and Justin. I owed Justin 2 stakes already, so now we're just even after that calculation. So yeah, but suck it, Justin.
Huge game. It's the marquee matchup here. I'm on Giants first 3 plus 105, first 5 at plus 115. Jose's on the Giants full game at plus 109. It's a very dangerous situation for me early here with this.
No consideration of adding the Giants full game?
No, none. I didn't want to triple up on the spot, even though I might do it on the Als. But I didn't want to triple up on the spot. So where do I think my whole idea was to fade Kershaw. That's what I wanted to do, was to fade Kershaw. So I was going to go first 3 and first 5.
Okay. And by the way, it's raining in raining in Washington. They're still playing through it right now, but it's rain. It's getting sketchy for Corbin. Will be interesting.
Yeah, this is not good. 3-1 count with 2 runners on.
Yep. By the way, I do indeed owe Kelsey a stake as well, who's in our chat.
Oh, come on. How's that not a strike? I mean,
that's brutal.
God, I mean, it's just such an important part in the game. That was a beautiful pitch.
That umpire is a notorious prick as well. That's why we should have ABS.
I'm going to cover the chat in case you guys. I cannot move on here. This is like, I can't start the day. Well, I mean, look.
Could you remind everyone what you have again?
I have the first 3 under 2.5 and the first 5 under 4.5. This is just okay. They're stopping the game.
Okay. All right. Here we go. That's a good reprieve.
He's not happy. Corbin's not happy.
I'd be pissed off too. It's like, what the fuck? You let me pitch into this bullshit and it hasn't gotten any worse. If you're going to let me pitch through this bullshit 5 minutes ago, why are you going to stop it now?
They shouldn't have started the game.
Yeah, I'd be pissed off if I was him too.
All right, this is not good.
But yeah, let's bring the challenge system into Major League Baseball. Let's do the full tennis. We'll still let the old man stay back there, but let's let batters and pitcher challenge balls and strikes.
Oh, that is just so frustrating. 1-0 Orioles already as well. Did not take long for them to fire off a Rodri Munoz. Okay, let's roll on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern with the Atlanta Braves 54-46, 24-25 on the road. The New York Mets 53-48, 26-26 at home at Citi Field in Queens, New York. I moved. This is my final spot that I moved on today, and I moved on the first 5 under 4 in this.
Makes sense.
My concern obviously is Chris Sale. But he's a vet. I know he's been, now at this point now he hasn't started in 11 days. But
yeah, and he's been scheduled to start like 3 days in a row or whatever. And
but he's a vet. I mean, I don't have the same concern with an older pitcher, and maybe I should.
This will be a good test case.
It will be. It will be. So Chris Sale, 13-3, 2.70 ERA, 0.95 WHIP. He's been spectacular. 140 strikeouts over 110 innings. On July 14th, in his last start, he allowed 1 earned run over 5 innings, 6-3 win at the Padres.
Apparently, the Mets are favored now in this game too.
Wow. On the road, 5-3, 2.68 ERA, 206 opponents batting average. Luis Severino should be dominant in this start This Braves lineup is doing nothing with the sticks. 226, 669 OPS since June 15th. I imagine it's worse in July. They just look bad. The Mets smash lefties. 279, 844 OPS. Now the Padres hit lefties very hard too, and that was a difficult start for Sale. That was not easy getting through those 5 innings. Truth teller betting Mets. The reason why I don't want the Mets is I find it very difficult to not see some sort of a letdown after sweeping the Yanks. I just, but the Braves bullpen right now also has a 3.1 runs less over 9 innings. They've allowed 3.1 runs less than the Mets over 9 innings. Let's get into the weather and the line history here. 84 Fahrenheit, 8.3 miles per hour, left to right across the diamond. Then it becomes in 6.7 and 6.4. Lee Davis says could be letdown-ish. Kelsey thinking there's a letdown possibility here. Getting to the cash flow for this spot. 58% of tickets, 64% of the cash is on your Atlanta Braves. So they have. Oh, sorry, is that right? Sorry, let me look at that again. Sorry, did I say that right? Yes, 58% of tickets and 64% of cash on the Braves. And we've talked about this line moving quickly towards the New York Mets. Let's go to full game here. I'm on the first 5. Let's move over to full game. On the full game, we have at Pinnacle, the Mets at minus 107. They opened up at plus 110. And that is such a legit move there. And on the total, we have it sitting at 7. Now, it's not quite a real 7. It's moved to 7 a couple different times, but it's as real of a 7 as it's moved to. The first time it moved to 7, it was minus 121 to the over. At 8, it's the third time it's moved to 7. It was minus 119 to the over. Now it's minus 117 to the over. It was minus 116 to the over. So that is some legitimacy. Let's see what it is first 5, just because that's what I moved on. The first 5 under, and that is now 3.5. Again, that's not the most real 3.5. It's minus 123 to the over. And then cash-wise on the total here, cash-wise, we have 87% of tickets, 85% cash on the over. So I think Severino shoves. Chris Sale is the bigger question mark, and he should be able to deliver. Mikey Money in the house. Great to see you, Mikey. Jay Peasy says the game after the Mets swept the Yankees the first time, they beat the Astros 7-2. That's a great point. That is a great, great point. Okay, take it away for us here. Jose, Braves, Mets.
By the way, only 1 run, so I actually feel a lot better about Rodri. That's good. Only 1 run. We're all right here. And a guy in second base already for the Fighting Fish here. And, of course, we get a strikeout immediately as I say that, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, Mets. It's the Mets here. They smash lefties. The line's moving their way. Mets. Give me the Mets here. The Braves are also, as we know, the best under team in baseball. So I moved them the full game under here as well. Under 7.5, minus 125 for me, unfortunately, and Mets minus 105 for me. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun game. And I will say this again: Chris Sale amongst the old man pitchers. He pitched really well. He's a little different, obviously, because he had like 3 years off because of injuries. But as this season wears on, his body is going to break down, I think, and he's going to be a fade pitcher as well. So Chris Sale, mark him down as well as a pitcher that I will be willing to fade in the second half of this season.
Yeah, I mean, with the idea that there's arm fatigue, I mean, right now he's not dealing with any of that.
No, but the Mets are just very good at hitting lefties. That is the primary reason I'm betting the Mets here today. As the season wears on, I will be citing his old manness and his arm fatigue and all the, like, hasn't thrown this many innings in what, like 3-4 years now or whatever it was. So I think he just wears down at the end of the season, as most older pitchers do, and I think he'll be a fade.
Okay, let's roll on our final MLB game on the telecast. We have one game in CFL, and then we have our $50 horse race, back racing horses today. It'll be fun. I think we have some fun with it. Hey, Jose, let's do heats. You want to do heats? Do 3 heats?
Sure.
Cool. 9:38 p.m. Eastern with the Oakland Athletics 41-63, 50-36 on the road at the LA Angels 45-57, 22-29 at Homeward Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Mally Mal says Kenny looks like a creep. Kenny Rosenberg on the hill, first MLB start of the year. He's made 2 appearances out of the bullpen, and the last one was pretty good. He's not very highly thought of prospect. He's 29, so he's not a prospect in a year anymore. 8th round pick out of Cal State back in 2016. In AAA this year, he's been pretty good. Pretty good. He has started 14 games, 77 innings. He's 5-4 with a 3.74 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Being pretty good in these 2 long appearances. I mean, it's not very much, but he hasn't been that good. Kenny Rosenberg. So he's going up against Ross Stripling, coming up the 15-day IL. Last saw him May 24th, 5.74 ERA, 318 opponents batting average on the road. He's struggled on. He's at 15 strikeouts and 26 2/3. Can't get strikeouts. Has not looked good. 5.82 ERA, 1.60 WHIP overall on the season. The A's are hitting lefties, Jose, harder than any team in Major League Baseball since June 15th. That's what they put together. Unbelievable. 278, 892 OPS. Angels.
I think those numbers are inflated because of one big outing against Trevor Rogers. I will make that note.
That's fair. 227, 657 OPS for the Angels versus righties. Angels bullpen's been very, very good. Truth Teller says, I think you have to bet the over. I mean, we knew looking at these 2 starters that the over would get hammered in this situation. Not only that, but we know what Angel Stadium becomes this time of year. It's just a highway out to center and 9 miles per hour out to right center, 83 Fahrenheit at night. It's hot in LA right now. We get into the odds for this spot. This first 5 is a 5. It goes to show you. I mean, it's only 5 on the board. This opened up at 4.5 minus 120 to the over. Now it's over 5 minus 115 to the over. So the market's moving very quickly towards that. On the full game here, we have a 9.5. Opened up at 9, moving to 9.5. You know what's interesting? If this rain delay goes for a long time, and Cease doesn't start, then it's just wiped out.
That'd be nice.
I'll take a look. Well, now that loaded bases with 2 out, I mean, it's not comfortable. Not comfortable at all.
Well, Corbin, I doubt Corbin comes back out obviously as well. So they'll just throw a bullpen arm in there, and it'll be up to God at that point. But it'll be funny.
It's not. I don't find any humor from it, Jose.
Well, it's fingers crossed you get a fucking long ass delay.
All right, let's get into the line history here. So again, the full game's at 9.5 minus 106 to the over. It opened up at 9. It's moved to 9.5. That's a half run move to the over. So we have moves to the over first 5 and full game. And on the money line, these Angels are at minus 112. They opened up at minus 103. 9 cents of movement towards the Los Angeles Angels. If it is, but Rosenberg's capable of going deep if he can go. Cash wise here, we have 74% of tickets, 73% cash on the over. And on the money line here, we have 35% of tickets, 35% of cash on the A's. Angels have 65 and 65, and the market's moving their direction. Take it away for us here. DC Capper on the over 9. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I think I'll just stay off this game as well. Obviously 2 bad teams going up against each other. I could see why everyone's on the over in this game. I've just kind of stayed off betting totals recently, so I stayed off this game. But I'll be watching as an interested observer in this bum fight.
Yeah, I don't find it much appealing. Justin McKelvey also on the over 9 in this spot. All right, let's review all action here on this Thursday afternoon card. We have Orioles and Marlins in play. So at this point, I've made 5 bets. The only thing that I would add would be that first 5 under in Toronto, which I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant at that point. I do think, though, that they were talking about the odds for Bassett, the outs, and how juiced it is to get to the over means he's probably going to have a good start here. I don't know if I get there. I'm thinking about it very closely. But I made 5 bets. We'll go over Jose's action. Then I'll go over the action of the cappers in the chat. But I've made 5 bets. My card starts out with Giants first 3 plus 105, Giants first 5 plus 115. Then I have San Diego, Washington first 3 under 2.5, and first 5 under 4.5 minus 120, minus 115 respectively. And then I have the first 5 under 4 at minus 121 in Atlanta, New York Mets. Jose Bouquet, review your action, my friend.
I am on the San Francisco Giants plus 109, New York Mets money line minus 105, the under in that game under 7.5 minus 125, White Sox money line plus 214, a not popular bet today, Jimmy. Not many people enjoyed that bet.
No.
And team total over 3.5 at plus 120, and the Miami Marlins money line at plus 182 going on right now.
Why would they have even started that baseball game? I mean, why do you do this? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Showers and full rain. It doesn't clear up till after 7 p.m. and it's a travel day. I don't know if this goes.
And I doubt that the Padres come back to the Nationals here.
Okay, let's go over the action from our cappers in the chat. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play today's Padres money line and Guardians money line together at plus 150. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play today. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases, minus 103. Again, you can see all of these bets on our website at pubsportsradio.com. It's all, if you go to your account and then move over, you get all the information. You get the consensus bets, you get the leaderboard, you get everybody's action. It's very cool. Shout out to Swiggy for putting it all together. Randall Sheffield, South in Your Mouth play today. Tampa Bay Jays Nerfy. Viper MB's on Texas on the run line. Troy Torrance is on Jays money line. Nats first 5 under 4.5. Full game under 9. D-Rock's on the Rays money line. He's also on Saskatchewan. It was all Saskatchewan in the chat. We'll get into that here shortly. It was all Saskatchewan in the chat until Ron Crawford gave out the spreadsheet play day on Montreal, and I want Montreal. Ick Schnizzle. But I was like everybody else when I saw the line. It's like everybody else when I saw the line. I was like, how could they put this 5-1 Roughriders over a field goal? Wow. Roughriders, I was like everybody else. Corbin Burns over 18.5 outs for Ick Schnizzle. Morgan Spooner's play of the day, Baltimore Orioles, team total over 6.5. Number 2 is Baltimore Orioles, first over 3.5, first 7. They got that run in the first inning. Kong Smash play of the day, Seager over 2 or more bases at minus 130. And Jeffrey Blue play of the day is on Profar. He's using Profar over 1.5 bases, and that's already up and rolling. Okay. And Joe T, the your under play today, Orioles Marlins over 8, which got off to a good start for him as well. And then we have Mikey Money, the ribeye play of the day is in. It's also our moment of Zen. Our ribeye play of the day is in Randy Arozarena at plus 190. I was copying and pasting. I can't just sit here and copy and paste when that ass is on the screen. So we're gonna have to see that again. Damn. DC Capper says, what is the best bet in CFL? We're going to talk about that right now. And Truth Teller's play of the day is the New York Mets. Jose, did you review all of your action?
Yes.
Sorry. Now all I see is
babbling brooks and asses.
Just the ass, actually.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. That is our MLB breakdown. We are moving into CFL. Look, I don't have... Oh, and wait, before we do, actually, Jose, we have your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play today is the Dodgers and the under 8.5. Dodgers and the under 8.5. That's a huge score, plus 395.
Well, grandma's going to be wearing some tattered panties tonight.
Wow. Look at this. So that's in
tattered, disgusting underwear.
Well, I wouldn't say disgusting. Tattered, maybe. Tattered, maybe. I mean, maybe.
Those are real. Those are royal.
Yeah. She's more attractive than this woman, but
arguably,
this is the one we go back to so often.
the pinnacle. Those are also real.
All right. Let's get to work in the Canadian Football League here. And look, I mean, I don't know what to say. I've not been good to start out the year. And it's very, very frustrating. 16 and 19, it's awful. It's not enough. And we're not halfway through. But it really, really bothers me because I know people like my CFL action. It bothers me that I've not been delivering enough. So let's 2-0 Orioles now from Justin McKelvey. 2-0 Orioles. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the Saskatchewan Roughriders 5-1, 2-1 on the road. The Montreal Alouettes 5-1, 2-1 at home. Percival Molson Memorial Stadium in Montreal, Quebec. A beautiful night for football in Montreal. Let's just do one last weather check, see if anything has changed. No, it's gorgeous tonight. Beautiful, clear. I mean, mostly cloudy, but perfect 68 Fahrenheit at kickoff. It's going to be beautiful. Again, on Santander, over 1.5 bases for Londo, getting the started. Nice job. Yeah, I this was one that got away from me. The Orioles but the -1 was really expensive. The -1.5 was -135. So what do you think of -2? Couldn't do that. The team total over might have been a better look. Steve G says, go Alouettes. So everywhere I've looked, everywhere, it's all Roughriders. And it's also the under. The under. So there's been very, very interesting market moves. And I have a long breakdown for this one. Then we have our horse races. Nuclear says, Caleb Evans is the only reason I'm on the Riders. He's going to have to show me. Well, he went 2-0 as a starter last year for Montreal's third season in the CFL. And I felt, watching him fall apart last week after Fajardo got hurt, that it was the perfect storm to back Caleb Evans this week. So now we have also the consensus being on the Roughriders. Consensus picks have been losing in the CFL, but also when the market moves to a team, that market move has been losing as well. So let's go over our situation as we moved right back. Yeah, we've moved again. Wow. Okay, so we have another move here back to Saskatchewan. Wow. Okay. So I legitimately thought last night that there was a chance I could get a 3 in this football game. And unbelievably, there was an opportunity to get a 3. I didn't know there ever was. Wow. Right before our show started yesterday, I could have got the 3. I could even have got a 2.5. Wow. So at that number, there was a monstrous move towards the Alouettes. Now we don't have any way of tracking the cash flow, or I don't in CFL. So at that point, the Roughriders got to +4.5. There was a 2-point move on the Alouettes from -2.5 to -4.5. A huge, huge move, which tells me if I can get 3 or less, it's a big bet time. Now I haven't moved on this game yet. Let's get to the total for this spot here. It is a 49 at most books. It's a 48.5 -120 to the over, +103 to the under. This didn't move towards the under. This has just been moving towards the over. Don't forget that all spots, and look at that, Earl Sports on the way I'm looking at it too. Wow, -3.5, -101 current at bookmaker, which means their 3s are coming. 3s are coming. Okay. Earl is on the Alouettes first half -2, full game -3.5, and the over 48.5 for him. It says, love the spot for Montreal coming off a bye and an embarrassing loss before the bye. I would prefer that there was not a bye involved because they leave. They go away for a week and then they come back. I want them to stick in that anger, which is not something that they did. Slatsy says, keep an eye on Davis Alexander to back up quarterback for Alouettes. Coach Moss stated, he wouldn't hesitate to put him in if Caleb Evans struggles. Very limited playing time. Okay, so all 4 games 2 weeks ago went over. All 4 games last week went under. Let's break this one down here. And Yao saying that the cease for 6+ strikeouts. This game looks like it's going to be refunded. We'll see how that breaks down. Yeah, I don't even know why they started it, but we'll see how that breaks down. Okay, so here we go. Let's break this one down. It's going to be a fun breakdown. Roughriders coming off a 19-9 win at home over the Bombers last week. It was the first time all year the Roughriders have played to the under. First time all year. So we knew that there would be interest in the over in any game the Roughriders play. There's a vividness bias of how bad they were last year defensively, which hasn't been the case this year. Also, the Roughriders are 5-1 against the spread this year. They've been dominating. So I knew that there would be love for Roughriders, just like there was love for the Marlins today. People are making money off the Marlins. Why do they leave the well? They just keep going back to the well. If they're going to keep getting paid, why would they do anything? So I knew all this would happen. Now, look, I did not think that Shea Patterson would be able to step into the CFL and deliver, and he has. I was wrong. That shit will happen. He went 17-25 last week for 261 yards and a touchdown. He also ran 4 times for 35 yards. The refereeing was horrifying. There were phantom defensive pass interference calls on the Bombers that made no sense. They were keeping drives alive. In saying that, Shea Patterson is playing well. He was the 3rd team All Big Ten selection in Michigan. He's showing that he's better than I expected him to be. So let's keep going here. AJ Ouellette was a monster. He's a monster. AJ Ouellette will keep hammering you. He'll keep hammering the line of scrimmage. He is as tough as any running back is that I've seen ever in the CFL. And he's out with a hip injury. And people think that Frankie Hickson is just going to come in and deliver. I don't think Hickson. He's a very, very different running back than Ouellette. You know that Ouellette's just going to keep hitting you between the hash marks. He's not going to stop hitting you. It doesn't matter how many guys are in the box. He's going to come right at you, and he's going to put his shoulder in your face. Hickson's the opposite of that. So, yes, the Owls defense ranks second last in rushing yards allowed per game. A lot of those rushing yards against the Alouettes have happened in garbage time when they're sitting back in a dime package late in the game, and 15, 20-yard runs are coming against them that are meaningless. Now, they've allowed 5.1 yards per carry, but if you cut the fourth quarter of games where they're way ahead out of it, you wouldn't see those statistics. So you have their best running back, A.J. Ouellette, out. You have their number one receiver in Kean Schaefer Baker out. He caught 4 passes for 60 yards. Then he left with his arm in a sling. Aju, this 22-year-old out of Brooks, Alberta. Aju. He was the first Canadian to ever play for Clemson, but he barely played for Clemson. He went to USF for a cup of coffee. Then he started playing, college, like community college football, basically. Very good community college football, but then he started doing that because he wasn't academically able to keep rolling. He comes in and he's a monster, okay? He's a monster. He comes out of nowhere. He's a big boy. He looks bigger in the CFL because our defensive backs are smaller. But he's 6'2". He looks 6'6" out there. He has 70 yards after the catch. He has this magical game. Look, Mosaic Stadium was sold out. The Bombers have been the class of the West. The Roughriders gave it to them. But in that game that they won 19-9 with all these phantom defensive pass interference calls, there was a Coleros pass to Dembski. And look, this wide receiving core for the Bombers, we'll talk about more about tomorrow, has looked terrible. There was this pass to Dembski. He catches it. There's 2.5 minutes left. They're down 7. He catches it. It's a 40-yard pass. He catches it at the 30, and he's going for pay dirt. Gets to the 20, gets knocked out of his hands. Look, these Alouettes defenders never give up on the ball. They're playing very well. They're fighting the good fight for their new coach. They're playing good football. It knocks out his hand. It could have so easily been 16-16 at that point. And no, it's game over. It's 19-9. They lose. It was not as good of a performance as everyone talking about this Saskatchewan defense, allowing 3.7 yards per carry, lead the league with 12 picks. They lead the CFL in average rushing yards allowed at 50.3, rushing yards per play at 3.7. This passing defense has been terrible. Now, you could say, we're going to talk about Caleb Evans here shortly, but you could say that Caleb Evans is incapable of exploiting a pass defense that allows offense. The Bombers' wide receiving group is the worst in the CFL. The Alouettes, and that's just because of injuries, the Alouettes' wide receiving core there's monsters with Tyson Footpot leading away. There's monsters all over it. This this Rough Riders defense that was so dominant. They had 1 sack and no tackles for a loss against the Bombers. It's the Bombers' wide receiving core is so weak they can't stretch defenses. They're easy to defend. That doesn't mean I'm not going to back them against the Argos tomorrow, but we'll talk about that. So the Alouettes come in off their bye week. All right? They come in off their bye week. Fajardo's on the 6-game injured list with a hamstring injury. Here comes Caleb Evans, Texas native. We talked about the war hawk he was, and he, 58 touchdown, 38 picks as a Louisiana Monroe Warhawk. This is his 4th season in the NFL. Last year was his first with the Owls. He started 2 games and won them both. Look, he looked terrible when he came in week 6, but he knew he was starting. He knew all through the bye week that he was starting, and all week he's been practicing with the starters. He can also run. Now, look, if you're looking at his career as a whole, those Red Blacks teams that he started with for the first 2 years were horrific. So 15 touchdowns and 22 picks. Look, it's not good. But last year, in week 10, he looked good enough to lead the Alouettes to a 41-12 victory over the Roughriders. And again, it wasn't him through the air, but he's a dual threat. We're going to have Marc-Antoine Decoy, back in the lineup. That's going to be huge. He missed with a shoulder injury. And both of these defenses are stellar. So you're telling me that Shea Patterson at home against the tough Bombers defense, at home with everything going his way, and Ouellette played that full game, and Aju came in and dominated after Shane Baker left. You're telling me that he's just going to dominate in Montreal in a sold-out Percival Memorial Stadium? No, I don't believe it. And if this line keeps moving back fast towards the Rough Riders, if I can get a 3, I'm moving on it. Already, I'm sure that I can get, let's just go to it right now. Already, I believe I can get that first half. Let's just move over to CFL quickly. Under 3. And honestly, a -1.5 first half is spectacular. What's the first quarter money line? -135 first quarter money line. I want that too. Slatsy says Corey Mays coming in as a defensive coach has really changed the Rough Riders defense. It has. And Gordon Nkowski says Hickson is better than Ouellette. I mean, that's just, it's fun to disagree. You don't want a bunch of yes men. Ouellette ran for 1,000 yards in 15 games last year and was the big free agent signing. Hickson better than Ouellette, and Gordon saying Blondie's overrated. I couldn't disagree with that more. Nuclear says Alice receivers are monsters, but with Fajardo passing, with a dual threat running back there, and you having to defend the run, there's got to be opportunities for Caleb Evans to deliver. Look, I've not been succeeding, as you can see by the 16-19 record. If you believe in the Rough Riders, take it to the rack. I'm curious to see what this closes at. But I'm going to back the Alouettes. And I still want the under. I may prefer a first half under rather than a full game. I've got to figure out how I want to attack that. I don't want to double up on the under, but I will double up on the Alouettes. At home here, coming off of the loss. And I have not made any bets yet in this one. I've been watching the market go. So we will see how these bang out. Mally Mouses usually don't like unders, but under 49 seems appealing. It does. But I don't know why it's been moving to the over. So I don't want the 3.5. I want a 3. And it looks like I might be able to get it. They're certainly not going to give us anything under a 3. And I bet you if it's a 3, it won't last long. Yeah, no, Goran, it's fun. It makes it fun. And New Goran says we can agree to disagree. That's what family do. Absolutely. And Pinnacle now is under 49.5. So it just keeps moving to the over, Slatsy. Wow. Mally Mouse says maybe that first half under is the play start off slow, then pick it up in the second half. Again, it's the last 3 minutes with the clock stopping in the CFL that it gets wild. It gets wild fast, man. All right, so I'm going to back the Alouettes again, if you pick up any article that's out there right now, it's Rough Riders, and they've cost me a lot of money. And maybe what I would like to do now, they've cost me a lot of money, but I was on the Lions first half in full game in that game in BC, and Patterson did not deliver, and the Rough Riders did not look good on the road. Now they are 2-1 on the road. That was their lone loss. But is this a situation where we can fade them on the road, and then either back them or stay away at home? God, I want Shea Patterson to, turn into a pumpkin. All right. And look, I've not been delivering in CFL, and it's going to change. But all I can do is study it and move on it, and then, honestly show the record that makes me want to fucking reach out and smash something. That's our CFL breakdown for Thursday, July 25th here. No, I feel you, Mally Mal. Again, week 6, all 4 games go over. Week 7, all 4 games go under. There'd be nonstop overs until last week when they all went under. All right. And Slatsy says, having an under in the last 3 minutes of CFL game is like being on the roller coaster when you are missing a wheel. Little Final Destination 3 reference there, maybe. Let's roll. Let's roll and race horses. Thank you guys for sticking with us here. We have 8 MLB games and 1 CFL game. This is the lightest schedule that we'll have for the rest of the year. This is the lightest schedule we'll have for the rest of 2024. Things about to heat up, man. Let's bring back our guy, Jose Bouquet, to the telecast and get racing. Jose, how many gold members do we have?
70 gold members. We appreciate all of you guys for being gold members. And by the way, shout out to Kelsey, the first person to notice Jimmy's tan. So congratulations to you, Jimmy. You're tanned up. You're looking bronze. You're looking hot. Congratulations, Jim.
All right. You could have said everything except that last line. It would have been fine. How many do we have in each heat, Jose Bouquet?
We have about, I think, 24. I'm not a math guy, but that's about it right there. And heat 1, I'll tell you guys right now, we've got George Wood, Saturated, Daby Cab, Billy Friedrich, Matty Ice, Fanatical Jim, Rod Z, Joseph Thompson, Joey Fay, Nate Dogg, Connor Mac Picks, Ricky Bobby, Julian Cesario, Juan Ruiz, T, Jeff Slaughter, Sam Colmer, TJ Topset, Chosen One, Ron Crawford, Dutch Boy Fresh, Eldorado Custodian, Jason Meyer, and Johnny Guns. All end the program there. So shout out to you guys, of course.
5-0 Orioles. That was there's our guy Tori Coker in the house. Tori, we talked about you off the top of the show, Tori, and you got a ton of love from the chat. I hope you get a chance to see all the love. You got 50 comments of love and support. Ron Crawford did Red Girl. It is the Nationals, but that game's on already. That game is on
and delayed.
Yeah, it was one of those spots where you could explain the when you can explain a market move like that. Okay, but let's roll, Jose. You do the opening 30, and I will close up shop. The top 3 move on to the final. We'll have a 9-horse field for $50. Take it away, Jose.
Yes, of course. Thank you as always here. And my fucking little groups here have gotten messed up a little bit. So I'm about to regroup everyone real quick if everyone does not mind here. So this is on me. Apologies here. But luckily for me, I do still have our list of people. So it shouldn't take too long. But yes, I was right earlier. About 24 people per race here. So this should only take me just a moment here. So thank you guys for holding out on me. So yes, our first group, as I mentioned earlier, is a lot of the same names here. And I have to go back here. 24 people. Shout out to you guys. We've got Joseph Thompson, Jay Pizza, Julian, Sharon, Chill Will, J Dubs, Skunt Blaster, George Wood, Rob Freed, Jarek White, Nutflush Allen, Fanatical Jims, Brown Hughes, Rod Z, Randall Sheffield, Sam Colmer, Justin McAwee, Juan Ruiz, Jimmy the Bag, Coin, Saturated, Billy Friedrich, Jason Meyer, and Big O in this race. We're off and racing here in beautiful San Antonio. Saturated pops out to the lead here. And God bless this lovely music that blasts in my ear every time these race starts. 45 seconds left. A big jumble to find out who's going to be the top 3 to advance into our big money race. Sharon making his charge up to the lead here. 35 seconds left. Look at those people in the back because they know what this race is about. Late pace.
And we're seeing a move from both Jarek White and Rod Zawacki into the lead. Rod Zawacki mounting a move, trying to get to the front, but Fanatical Jim holding on to the lead. Sean Pulliam on his right, showing no weakness. Rod Zawacki trying to push back into the lead. Saturated making a move as well. Julian Cesario making a move. And here's the move from Big O. Big O pushing hard alongside Saturated. Who will get in? Justin McKelvey also pushing to get into the final spot. Let's see who our guys are. Big O, Saturated, and Julian Cesario. The 3 of them moving on to our finals. Excellent work, fellas. Excellent work.
Saturated
fellas.
Seems to always be in the mix.
Saturated doesn't mess around. We miss Saturated. Been gone for a minute. And I know that we're going to get a lot of cappers back here shortly. But it is with football right around the corner. But we thank you guys. The MLB cappers have been running with us for the last little while. That is our first round. You've written down the 3 that moved on?
Yes, the first round is done. The second round has O'Brien Palmer, Joey Harb, William Bardo, Old E, Chosen One, Iron Eagle, K Wolf, Rez Mob, Nasty Nate, BT, Top Set, Paul Taylor the Sailor, Ron Crawford, Sports Money, Big Ragu, Ken Wood, Ricky Bobby, Preston Ekdahl, myself, Big Show Picks, Dominic Diaz, Crystal Craig, and Chris Boggin rounding out our 23 for this race. All right. It's a beautiful day here again. The sun is shining. And God damn it, do we need another top 3? Here we go. Here we go. Dominic Diaz, Ken Wood, Rez Mob, Old E, all in the mix. Preston Ekdahl up there as well. Everyone rooting for one Preston Ekdahl. Everyone loves a Preston win. And there's Nasty Nate in the mix. He knows. He's a veteran of these races. He's been in every one. Has yet to win one, but he knows this race is all about late pace, Jimmy.
Jose Bouquet quietly moving up as well. Forward movement from Jose Bouquet. Preston Ekdahl seems to always be around the wire. Mikey Money right there as well. The Chosen One, Mikey Money, and Preston Ekdahl in a line. Big Show Picks right there as well. Who's going to push late is the question. We're moving into our final furlong. Iron Eagle, Nasty Nate, Rez Mob making a move. And here comes K-Wolf. K-Wolf representing Quebec making a move. Iron Eagle as well. Iron Eagle, K-Wolf, and Ron. Is it Mikey Money or Ron Crawford? Who comes third? Mikey Money. Money coming third. That was very tight between Mikey Money and Ron Crawford. That was very tight. Very, very tight. Iron Eagle, K-Wolf, and Mikey Money moving on to our finals. Very, very, very impressive work here. We're sitting here with a 5-0 lead here for the Orioles. Bottom of the third, 1 out, and nobody on. Corbin Burns just delivering. That was just absolutely beautiful. Just a nasty, nasty pitch there. And we don't know what's going to go on with the rain delay in Washington, although it sure screwed me here. It is a travel day. I don't think they'll be rolling for too much longer here. Let me see if I can get another weather report.
While you do that, I'll list off our last race here for the money. Johnny Guns, Kent Davies, Philly Eagle Flyer, Lil Domo, Zoe Faye, Juan Chavez, Nate Dogg, Big T, Kelly McInnes, Matty Ice, Daby Cab, Nuke Worker, Connor Mack Picks, Joey Marinaccio, Kenny Can, Bo Jackson, Fernando Mendoza, Ricky Levine, Dutch Boy Fresh, Donut Silk, Jeff Slaughter, Director 97, and our guy TJ rounds out our last heat here.
By the way, the rain's supposed to end at 1:15. That's in 19 minutes.
Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. All right, let's get after it. Who's going to find themselves in the money here? The last horse race until our big money race. TJ sticking his snout up there early, but falling back a little bit. Ricky Levine also making his presence felt here. 45 seconds left. Who's coming around the turn with that pace? Johnny Gunn's in the mix. Little Domo, Ricky Levine again. And there goes Jeff Slaughter in the mix here. Jimmy, who's going to take this race home? And how bad does everyone want Jeff Slaughter to win this one?
Little Domo rolling as well. Ricky Levine up there with Matty Ice, Joey Marinaccio, Bo Jackson. Who's going to be flying late is the question. Philly Eagle Flyer right there. Connor Mack picks Dabra Cadabra all involved. Who's going to come home moving into our final furlong? Ricky Levine, Matty Ice, Kelly McInnes, Fernando Mendoza all up front. Here comes Big T and Zoe Faye, our friend Zoe Faye moving forward here. Donut Silks powering home. Donut Silks getting all of the money, and Daby Cab looks like he'll be moving on with Big T. TJ bucked by the system. I thought he was there, but they're saying
I thought he had it. Damn.
Yeah, I thought TJ had it, but Donut Silks, Dabra Cadabra, and Big T moving on to your finals here. Kelly McInnes was right there. Kelly McInnes saying, yeah, it looks like that ball game is going to go, so that's going to be a sweaty at bat. Tigers Guardians is popping off in 12 minutes here. You know what I should have done was taking the Orioles first 5 -1. I bet you that -1 line would have got me down enough. But all right, we have 9 horses in the final. Big T, Dabra Cadabra, Donut Silks, Mikey Money, K Wolf, Iron Eagle, Julian Cesario, Saturated, and Big O. 9 horses racing for $50.
Yes, what an exciting race this is about to be. Put your money behind one of these guys and let's see who comes out on top. We're racing here. $50 American dollars on the line. In Canada, that's about $60. And the Venezuela, that's
more.
About $2,000. Oh, even more. But the point is, you can win money today. Big O, Julian Cesario, Iron Eagle, all in the mix, and sports money in dead last. But he knows, again, it's all about late pace, Jimmy.
Just 4 lengths separate the horses here, tightly bunched as we move into our final. $50 on the line here for Pub Sports Radio Racing. Big O trying to get home. It is a tightly bunched group. Does Mikey Money have late pace? He's moving forwardly. Julian Cesario making a move. And there goes Dabra Cadabra. Dabra Cadabra sees daylight, trying to come home with it. Mikey Money making a late run as well. Here comes Iron Eagle. Big O, Donut Silks. And Donut Silks gets the papier.
Wow. Donut Silks just lied in wait and made the charge at the right moment.
Wow. I thought Daby Cab was going to get that one. I also, a very, very tightly bunched group. And our friend Donut Silks, $50 richer. I'll write that here so I can remember to message him.
Yes.
So
and go on to ask your question. It is PayPal for you Canadians. PayPal.
Yes. PayPal.
But that was beautiful. Poor Daby. He saw the line, saw the money, and then buckled under the pressure.
I don't know. It still hits the board. If you took Daby to show, you'd be in the cash.
But that gets you squat ass zilch here.
Squat ass zilch. Well put. Squat ass.
Yes. By the way, I saw the odds makers before the show, and they said -500 for Jimmy to say there's no dreams in Shawshank during the Kershaw start, and they were surprised. They were shocked. The upset was pulled.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's a little different. It's a little different here with young Clayton Kershaw on the hill. I'm very interested. I'm so interested in the game. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, that's the main event. That is the main event. I hope,
No
like I said, definitely going to be, it's definitely my best bet of the day if we're doing FNF, but it's going to be fun.
Let's get this Washington Nationals. I think that this game will be coming back here shortly. This is going to be such a difficult at bat here. No information from the Nationals beat writers, but the San Diego Padres a little more. Okay, no, we don't know at this point anything, but it sounds like looking at the weather that we'll be back in action here shortly. Excellent work here. We'll do one final review of all of the action. Moneyline Mill says, how do I enter the horse race next time? Become a gold member. That's all. Just become a gold member. Subscribe as a gold member, and you are in the horse race. $50 horse races every Thursday and Friday. And if Jose, myself, Preston, or Jeff Slaughter win, we pass it on. So there's $100 for the next race. Let's review all action here on our show. Billy Friedrich, Pig Mill play today. Padres moneyline, Guardians moneyline together. Stacks play today. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases. Has he got there? Did Gunnar?
I think he did. I thought he did. I'm not sure. Actually, I shouldn't say anything.
It is 6-0 Orioles. Let's hope that Gunnar and Stacks. No, not yet. Gunnar has not got there. Not got there. But Gunnar can and will. Look at that. Gary Malone says, was Chris Sale scratched? What?
Oh, that would suck balls.
What? Let's just take a look here. This is the first I've heard of this. Come on. Here we go. No, Chris Sale's in. He's all good. It says Chris Sale here in the books. You can bet it right now. You can bet Chris Sale right now. So I've heard none of that. I've got Chris Sale here. Randall Sheffield, South in Your Mouth, Tampa Jays Nerfy. That Jays Rays first 5 under, as I'm still thinking about. Daniel Hernandez says Baltimore is free money. Yeah, they were a big favorite, so it was a tricky. You had to get the vig down, was a little tricky. Viper NBs on the Rangers -1.5. Troy Torrance, Blue Jays money line. Nats first 5 under, full game under. D-Rock is on the Roughriders +4.5 and the Rays money line. Ick Schnizzle on Corbin Burns over 18.5 outs. Play today from Morgan Spooner was Baltimore Orioles team total over 6.5. Remember? +195. They're a runaway. And over 3.5 for 7. So he's in the black. Then CFL spreadsheet play today is Montreal -4. I'll be with him there. And projected to resume in 26 minutes. Thank you, Earl. That's great. Slatsy's on the under in the Roughriders Owls game, got 49. I'm surprised it's up to 49.5. I wonder if I kind of do want to go up against it, but I'm going to need more time on that one. The ribeye play today, Randy Arozarena at +190. The fuck your under play today is Orioles Marlins over 8. And Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today was Washington at +137. Orioles -1. I have all the asterisks beside, but it was. I thought it might be a little too expensive and didn't move on it. David Redling hearing Morton as well. I don't see it on the books anywhere. Can you type something in before you give our review and see if you see anything? Jose will review his action here. I've got it here, but we'll have him review it. Mikey Money, your grandma's wearing your sister's panties against the Dodgers in the under 8.5. Razor sharp picks. Gamblers first glance. Gamblers first glance is White Sox, Texas under 8. White Sox, Rangers under 8 is the Gamblers first glance. Then for me, doubled up on the Giants first 3 and first 5, and I have that first 5 under 4 in Atlanta, New York Mets. Jose's on that full game. Take it away, Jose. Review your action, my friend.
Scrolling through Twitter, I have not seen a Chris Sale tweet yet. I just see a lot of the game starting at 1:30, your game. Jimmy. And by the way, shout out to Nasty Nate, who had some trials and tribulations in the family recently. So hope he's doing well, of course.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I don't see anything yet. We'll see if we get it. Like I said, I have not seen it yet.
No, I got nothing about this.
But we will see. My action here today. I've already lost seemingly Miami money line there, so we'll move on. I took the White Sox +214 and +120. Braves, Mets under 7.5 -125. Mets -105, and the Giants, my favorite, I guess, best bet of the day at +109 for me.
That is our show for today. We have a full MLB card, and TJ will be back in business joining us. He is the best record of our MLB cappers here on the channel. He'll be back in business with us tomorrow. We also have the rest of the CFL slate. And then next week, we come back Olympics. We'll be moving on the Olympics as well. Jose, great job, my friend. Thank you for all your hard work. And to those of you in the chat, we have nothing without you guys. AOD, Kelsey, Earl, Sports Bets, Dave Redling, Billy, Friedrich, Gorn, Ninkowski, Mikey, Money, Daniel Hernandez, David Redling, Truth Teller, Zoe, Faye, Gary Malone. Thank you all. Truly, truly thank you. Textiles, Daily Spread Podcast, Moneyline Mills, Kelly McKinnis, Rem Most, B. Lee, Billy Friedrich, Yao, Red Girl, Ron Crawford, Crystal Craig. Thank you, all of you guys. Truly, truly, thank you, Slatsy, all of you guys. Let's go get that cash. Again, this line's moving towards it. Can I get a 3? Can I get a 3? I want a 3. I think I can get one. Do I want to back Caleb Evans? No. Do I want to fade the Roughriders on the road? Yes. We'll see how it all bangs out here. I'll tweet it out as soon as I bet it. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Jose Bouquet, final words. Could you please bless our action and send us into the future?
Let's get some fucking money today. Whether it be dogs, favorites, totals, whatever you're betting today, good luck. We wish you the best of luck. Support the Pub Sports Radio in any way you can, whether that is buying a membership. Right down below, $9.99 a month for the gold membership. Be a part of the horse races, as you just saw, or just be a regular member as well. Help the pub in any way you can. We need your support. Buy shirts, do whatever you can. But most importantly, go get that money, hit the like button, and leche a los bookmakers.